Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Oh yeah, another episode. Something still different, but we are working on that. We are working with it, and we want to thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us because a lot of big changes happening in our lives, and we are rolling with all of it. You know how the show goes. All right, Chris Locks, I'm on to kick it with my Corolla Digital Bud Dawson. Let me introduce everybody, though. We got all the way in Orange County, California, Gary Smith.
What's up?
Hey, Gary. And all the way in NoHo, Mike Dawson. I know, we had to do the intro and post, but we'll get those guitar solos back on. And all the way also in NoHo, Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Hey, Kalen. Dude, what? So you just live there now? What's going on?
Yeah, I set up a bed. I just sleep here constantly. I don't even see my kids anymore.
I will say it's a nice background you have. If you go on YouTube and watch this, it's a nice shelf.
What if you had to flick Patrick's place over there? Is it better than the birth of your daughter then?
No, not quite. It's still a work in progress over here. So, but we're getting there.
And then all the way in Austin, Texas, Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
So we've had a lot of rain in Southern California. It's actually raining as we speak. You might hear some of it pouring onto Kalen's tin roof that is currently sheltering him right now. But I was thinking, man, it's been raining a lot. This is probably the wettest season that I could imagine in recent memory, or I could think of in recent memory. I don't know if ever, but it's fairly stormy and wet and rainy. Yeah. But then Matt texted me a video of he's like, oh, look at the sky outside my house, and it was just the craziest lightning storm. And then it made me think, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Oddly, no rain. That was just an electrical storm. There was not a drop of rain in sight. It was just like a crazy cloud to cloud. It looked like aliens were attacking. It was amazing. It was like that for half an hour. It was so cool.
So our last storm like this in Southern California was in about 1997.
Yep, Kalen, you weren't born
15 years ago.
I remember that.
Can I share things? Can I share footage? Is this easier now that we're using a different setup?
No, you fucking cannot.
Okay. I just wanted to know.
I mean, that's a question for 7 minutes ago, right?
Well, I wasn't thinking we were going to talk about the lightning storm, but now I'm like, people may want to see the lightning storm, Give the people what they want, but it's fine. It's not critical.
Give the people what they want, Gary. What's the big deal?
You got to turn your mic up, too. I feel like I can barely hear you being mad at me right now.
Now, if the aliens did come, Matt, would you go with them? They needed you?
Let's assume that they're not already here, but yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, are they here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they showed up in that storm.
Yeah.
I think if aliens were to come, they wouldn't come like that, where it's just a big spectacle.
They'd hide out. Do some recon.
Yeah.
Dawson using the tried and true trick of holding up his cell phone to the camera.
That actually, ironically, that was sent to me from Austin, Texas on Friday night. So that is outside of Matt's neighborhood. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So it's. Oh, aren't you going to Texas, Dawson? What's going on?
I'm going to Texas tomorrow night, dude. I'm going to go spend some time with the Kingster. Go out to his ranch, ride some horses, play some guitar, smoke some cigars.
Yeah, you may want to clarify the name. That's just an odd-sounding nickname for people who don't know who you're talking about.
The Kingster is Kinky Friedman.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I was gifted the annex of the ranch for the weekend. They're like, we need you to come out. I got to take Kinky to a charity event on Saturday, hang out for a little bit. But
dude, I want a property that's so big I need an annex.
Oh,
look at that! Come on!
Look at this.
That is almost exactly what I was sent, and that can't be what I was sent.
Well,
Dawson,
no,
I texted everybody a picture. I texted everybody the video.
Well, this is actually this is Matt's neighbor's storm, and then Matt decided to film it. Next to this kind of thing. So you probably got the neighbor's.
I have the exact same storm from my friend Karen.
Yeah, this looks like the aliens are coming.
I know, I'm never either.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's badass and beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get to go take 4 days, 5 days. I don't know. I'm coming back Saturday night, and I just get to go in the middle of nowhere, Texas, in the hill country, and hang out with an old dude.
Yeah. And a couple things. First off, if your name's Kinky, you don't need to go by Kinkster.
He has a million.
Nicknames get longer.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if maybe we should have a seizure warning before our episode because of all the flashing lights. Remember that was like a thing like before, like some certain cartoons or things. If they had too many flashing lights, they would have a seizure warning. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't really. I think of The Simpsons whenever that happens because I remember like there's an episode where they went to Japan and they watched Japanese animation and they had seizures.
It happens a lot in video games now. Like a lot of video games are just like if you start to feel dizzy or like you're having a seizure, you have to stop playing this game. Although if you were flopping out having a seizure, I don't know how you'd obviously be stopping the game. Or maybe not. Maybe you have like a crazy XY combo.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a terrible experience, but I bet some of our listeners might be subject to seizures or, epilepsy or something like that. Wait, epilepsy is the one with seizures, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A guy had an epileptic seizure when I was a kid, and he was driving his car in my neighborhood, and he should have driven right through the front door of my house, but luckily we had a giant boulder that my parents were in the process of trying to get removed. We left the boulder.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Yep.
Smart.
Yeah, I remember that crazy ghost story that Joe Coy told on the show.
The one in Hawaii.
That he has this crazy ghost story. It was on Resume back in the day, but we replayed it on Watercooler a couple times for Halloween. I remember that day that he told me that, and like all this weird stuff started actually happening to me after hearing that story. And I don't know if it's whatever that phenomenon is where you start seeing, you notice it more just because you heard it. Like you notice a certain kind of car more because someone said the word beetle to you, and then you see beetles everywhere. Now, when Joe told that story,
I never see beetles anymore.
Oh,
that's what I'm going to.
Yeah, now that's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
Now, when Joe told me that story, there's all this crazy stuff that started happening in my life. Like he's like, oh, there's this ghost story, and all these flies started. There was a single fly that would always just be buzzing around my head. And when he told me that story, I went back home to my apartment, and that night I was brushing my teeth, and a fly was just smashing itself into my bathroom mirror. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, dude, he was listening to Metallica.
Yeah, but and there was all this other weird stuff that he was freaking raging. And now there was all this other stuff that's happened to me. But I remember telling Jen that story right after it happened, and Jen said something crazy happened to her that day, and she was. Someone like had a seizure, like at her hospital, and she had to obviously help them. And she's helped, and then so I don't know why that memory I just remember that. But and also when we went to Italy, Gary.
Oh, did you?
For our honeymoon? Yeah, it was really fun. But when we were in a layover in Germany, there was I may have told this story. There was like a group of kids on a field trip. Did I tell this?
No,
I don't think so.
You
did.
too busy talking about how you consumed the food at the museums or something.
Yeah, this might have been before my Chez Fondue on museums. Yeah.
There was no food at the museum. He just consumed the art at the museum
It was
through
delicious.
his mind.
Sorry, Caitlin, I wasn't listening.
There was no food at
You're hurting my case of ever getting a chance to do another Chez segment. So we had a layover in Germany, and there was a group of looked like high school kids, maybe seniors or something, on a class trip, and there's about 25, 30 kids just sitting in the airport in the terminal, and two teachers, two guys. And I remember this, like I go to the bathroom, and when I come out of the bathroom, there's a girl just on the floor facing up. Jen is kneeling next to her, like helping her, and a crowd of kids is grouped around her.
Now, for a split second, did you think that Jen was hooking up with this girl?
No, not then, but now I am. And now, no.
I'm just replaying the scene in my mind. You never know. You're like, hey, what's that? Whoa, uh-oh.
I didn't actually, because it was just the energy was a little too different for me to have a sexual fantasy of some sort.
I wasn't there.
I know.
I don't know. Okay.
So I remember walking to the bathroom and seeing that, and I head over there, and Jen's like talking to her very calmly, like, "Hey, you just had a seizure. Are you okay?" And being very professional, she turned on medical mode, right, and just was
she
totally
turned
helping
on.
her. I'm mad.
Medical mode.
That was my brand new wife.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Gary rejoins the video just to shame me. I'm sorry.
And then so eventually this girl comes to. They send the employees or the staff at the airport is requesting their medical team to come out there now. She's sitting down. Jen's asked her questions like, "Do you know your name? Do you know where you are? Do you know what's going on?"
Is she speaking in Italian?
No, they're American.
German.
Excuse me, I should have said this. They're American kids on a trip
like,
to Germany.
Jen's incredible. I mean, I knew she was cool, man, but she's like, "Hey, andiamo."
What kind of bullshit schools did we go to? I never took a field trip to Germany.
Oh, I know. This was insane already. And like, so they're on a class trip to Germany, and or maybe they had a layover somewhere. They're going to Europe, whatever it is. And so she finally sits down. Jen's like, "Do you know your name? Do you know where you are? Do you know why you're here?" She's like, "Yeah. Have you ever? Do you know what just happened to you?" And she's like, "No. What are you talking about? Do you remember anything before this moment?" "Yeah, I've just been sitting here this whole time." It's like she had no idea she had a seizure. She had no idea. She got up off the floor. She was just so out of it, right? And then so the medical team's coming. She's never had a seizure before. We've asked her if she's ever had one. She says no. And then so the teacher's now sitting there, and he's like, and Jen looks at the teacher. It's like, "You gotta get her home." And he's like, but all these other kids are trying to go to Europe. And I don't really know. Like, so he's now wrestling with like, do we keep this trip going or do we call this whole thing off, break all these kids' hearts because this girl had a seizure and she should be going home, or she like something should happen, right? Her parents are probably worried about her. And so now this teacher sits down next to the girl and is trying to convince her.
You didn't have a seizure.
You don't think you've never had a seizure before? I mean, you feel fine, right? Like you can probably soldier on, right? We don't know what caused this thing. We don't know what happened or like what's going on. Imagine if that happened on a flight.
Which, by the way, this is about that guy because there is a world where one teacher goes with her and goes home, and the rest of the group goes forward. But that means that the guy in question who's trying to convince her is headed back and does not get his European vacation.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate any more than that. You could be very right, Gary, but yeah, I just thought it was insane. And and it's not an easy predicament to be in. Maybe for some people, for the parents, whatever. It's like, oh yeah, that's an easy predicament. You get her home and cancel the trip. But this guy's like, they paid so much money. They looked forward to this trip for so long. I can't just stop this whole thing and not get her on this flight because their flight's about to take off and this medical team's going to examine her. So she can't get on, whatever it is. Like, I don't know what. So this guy's just like, you can power through, right? We can continue on with this wonderful trip, can't we? And Jen was just beside herself. She's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. She just helped this girl. She did all that and for nothing. Well, anyway, our flight left first, so I don't know what happened to them, but yeah, it's just a weird seizure story that I just remembered just now. Now, before we get to our comments, there's another thing on the internet that bothers me, and Matt kind of knows this already, that I'm really bothered by, like the cooked videos, fake fights, fake things. But now
we're living in an era where it's easier and easier to do.
It's easier and easier to do. It's kind of easy to see. It's easier to spot, but they still get a lot of traction. But now we're living in an era where they're starting to break their own TVs, and it's obviously fake, right? Like when the Super Bowl happened and the Eagles lost, this guy put on an Eagles jacket and it showed the last play, and he went to the TV and started breaking. All these kids are like, "Hey man, come on, it's just a game." No, I had so much money on this, and it was just so cooked. It went viral either way, but I mean the TV still had the tag on it. The sticker tag on it. It's like, dude, it was a cheap TV because you can kind of tell when it wasn't mounted, it was just on a stand,
right?
And it was high up and no speakers, nothing, and it's just like, and they were filming the final play and this guy running up to the TV to destroy it. So there's a lot of that going on, which bothers me.
By the way, do you know ultimately what was the purpose of that video? Because usually those cooked ones end up actually being like a subversive ad for something. Like it's
this guy was a
something.
content creator, so he just needed the hits.
He was just looking for
the likes,
looking for the clout.
Looking for the clout.
Thank you, Aaron. That's the word I was looking for.
So that bothers me, and I see that stuff more and more. But now there's a new thing that everybody's been tweeting me, just because I still work for Adam Carolla, who rides a unicycle, and there's a video of a guy, Adam Carolla. So there's a video of a guy who walks out of a Target. He has a TV box, straps it on him, and unicycles away like a 65
It's like
inch.
a 65
TV.
inch. Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, you've seen this, right, Gary?
I have.
You've probably tweeted a billion times too.
I have.
So, and he rides around, and everyone's like, "Man, that guy was really committed. That guy was really buff. That guy really wanted his TV. What talent! What amazing video someone caught, because it's filmed like from that parking lot, like somebody in their car in a parking lot filming this guy doing it. Now, it did look amazing, but here's the thing: I've seen that video 4 different ways. Another one where a guy had his TV, it's too big to fit in his car, tries to fit in his trunk, tries to fit in his back seat, eventually just puts it on top of his car, grabs it by his hand over the roof, and just drives away like that.
On a unicycle?
No, in his car.
Okay.
So, and he drives away, and there's a guy in the parking lot filming that as he drives away with his TV. And that gets millions of views too. But here's the thing. Those TV boxes are clearly empty, because the way they're lifting these things up and carrying them, they're empty. Okay? So you think that guy on the unicycle had a real TV? No, he gets the box. These places are trying to get rid of their boxes anyway. So he's like, "Hey, Target, can I get a box of a TV? My buddy's going to film me in the parking lot, and I'm going to carry this thing away on a unicycle." And they let him do it. And that's what it is. That's what happens. And it bothers me that people think it's real. Look.
Bothers me too.
See? It's just, I don't know.
I thought it was real.
Why do we need it?
I thought the guy was a fucking idiot for riding a fucking unicycle with a 65-inch TV brand new.
Yeah.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
Look,
You're going to break that thing.
Of course. See, that's the point. That's what they want you to think. But if you rewatch that video again, watch it again tonight or something, just watch the way he handles the box. It's a little light. It's a little deflategate-y.
The content creator is just trying to get views so that they can sell to advertisers and say that 1 million people watch their videos. Is that ultimately what? I
don't even think it's that far. I think it's just like I just need a lot of people to like me. Now, there is a stipulation where I'm giving them the likes and I'm giving them the views, because maybe people are going to go try and look for that now and find it. But I don't know. It's a pet peeve of mine. I don't think it'll go away. If it doesn't go away, whatever. But it's just
what I'm hearing is that we need to attempt to do this in some form.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's exactly right.
We need to each pre-empty 12 packs of beer or something. Great sound effects in the background here. And dump it all out ahead of time, and then we just have a bunch of empty cans, and obviously people listening to this will know the truth, but we'll just the whole time be like, "Oh my God, I'm getting so wasted." We'll just play the claw drop all the time, and it'll be cooked.
And then if we get the claw drop, then it's real.
Millions of people will watch it. Yeah.
See, Matt, this is why you could create a viral video in a second. You know all the components, you know what it takes, you know what people want. So
apparently my dog wants to come in here. So hold on a second. Sorry,
it's okay. It's his world. We just live in it, man.
You're fucking telling me
whatever your dog wants. All right. Well, anyway, we have comments. Caitlin, do you have a quarter update today?
I do not have a quarter update today.
Caitlin, the rain is coming down hard at my house right now.
Yeah, it moved over from where I am.
Okay, well, it's probably about to hit you again.
I could hear it a little bit on your roof a minute ago, Caitlin.
It's okay. It's barely raining outside now. It's very weird how this rain is operating. Well, 1 second it's there, the next second it's gone, the next second it's just dumping rain everywhere. I don't know.
Well, as someone who's been over a lot of Southern California today, I can tell you that it can go from sunny and bright and clear to torrential downpour in a matter of less than a mile.
Yeah.
It's definitely been unpredictable, weirdly. All right. Well, anyway, we have. I don't know if Matt has a Shay or not, but why don't we? Oh, Kim, do you have a flickin'?
I do.
Oh, what are you flicking?
You want me to go ahead and tell you now? I'm flicking a movie that came out a few years ago, but is now streaming on Netflix. I've been waiting to watch it. It's called Dragged Across Concrete.
All right. Well,
Sweet.
we don't.
I haven't
we
seen
can't
it
play
yet, but I want to see that.
We can't play the intro live, so I'll take it from here. We all want to know one thing. One thing. If here's what we need. We need. So, Kaylin, get on that mic. And flick the beat. Oh, Kaylin. Flick the beat. Respect all women.
So,
Dude, that's we have an a cappella group. That's pretty crazy. We should take that on the road. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Dragged Across Concrete came out in 2018, but I think it just arrived on Netflix. It's a neo-noir crime thriller written and directed by S. Craig Zoller, who also
What's the title again?
Dragged Across Concrete.
I'm not watching that.
Well, just wait till these other movies that he's directed. He has also written and directed Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Bone Tomahawk.
Bone Tomahawk sucked balls.
Dude, Bone Tomahawk. Kaylin's just verbally told me one scene, and it haunts me.
Yeah.
I'll get to that later. Don't worry.
It bothers me that people call it a Western.
Is it because of the word tomahawk? I think anything with the word tomahawk is a Western.
What about anything with the word bone?
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely several things I can think of.
Yeah. Matt's a medical porn movie.
Medical emergency.
Yeah. So Dragged Across Concrete stars Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, and Tori Kittles. It is Tori Kittles. He currently is a main cast member.
A descendant of the Skittles family. She's part of that lineage.
They
made her drop the S at Ellis Island.
What is that, Gary?
There was a much better NFL joke to be made there, but let's move on.
Yeah, the movie is 2 hours and 39 minutes long.
Ew.
So, yeah. It costs $15 million to make and made $660,000 at the box office. So, yeah,
why are you?
Why would you watch that? Why would you decide to watch this?
I'll get
the other person who watched it, Kaylin.
I'll get to that. Don't worry. Matt, have you heard of this movie?
I've seen it when I'm clicking
you have seen
through. No.
Oh.
I've seen the image of it. I'm not watching the movie.
Well, it has a 76% with the critics and a 69% with the audience. It's about two police detectives who get suspended from the force and delve into the criminal underworld to get their proper compensation. And the reason that I watched it is because I am a big fan of the director. He has a very distinct style. His movies are slower and more drawn out, as you can probably tell from the runtime of this one. Bone Tomahawk is 2 hours and 12 minutes. Brawl in Cell Block 99 is 2 hours and 13 minutes. They're very heavy on
Judd Apatow of horror films.
Neo-noir thrillers. This isn't a horror
neo-noir. I'm not going to say that, Kaylin.
It's not a horror movie.
It's a horror movie. We know what this is.
This is not a horror movie.
Okay, Bone Tomahawk. You can't split it between a horror movie or a neo-noir movie.
Split. I see what you did there.
Oh, I do love the movie Split, though. That's a film.
I was actually referring to that scene that I audibly told you about that one time from Bone Tomahawk.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, okay, you got that.
I emphasized Split. I know what I did.
Yeah, I'll get to it. Don't worry. His movies, they're very heavy on dialogue, but I think they're very well written. But he does a really good job at just instilling a sense of realism in his movies, but they are violent. They are very violent. And when the violence does come, it's fucking brutal. Again, the scene towards the end of Bone Tomahawk, which if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, I think is the most brutal scene I've ever seen in a movie or TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I understood quite how squeamish you were when I first told you what happens in this scene, Chris. So, yeah, my bad for that.
But if you ask the room, I'm sure it would be divided. I think some people would think it was bad.
Well, the thing is, like, the effects in all of his movies tend to be, like, quite over the top and kind of almost silly. But when it's kind of combined with the realism of the rest of the movie, then I think it works really well. Although that one in Bone Tomahawk is... Yeah, that one's I don't know. But yeah, I feel like people either tend to love or hate his movies. That's what I found. I haven't heard a lot of in between from people. And this movie is just kind of like the others, honestly. It is slow, but between the writing and the acting, Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, I was still entertained throughout. The violence does not disappoint. There is one scene at night where it gets a little harder to see, but even still, there's a part of that scene that I certainly won't forget. There's a few other aspects or times in the movie that do seem kind of over the top, not even violence-wise or effects-wise. I like his writing, like I said, but there are also times where it kind of seems like he's trying to be a little Quentin Tarantino, but it's not quite there. It doesn't work nearly as well. But I liked it. I was entertained. It's long, definitely not for everybody. But if you've seen his other movies and you've enjoyed them, you're going to like this one too. Kind of like Hawaiian Pizza. Hear me out.
I know where this is going.
Hear me out. Hawaiian Pizza, very divisive. All right, you either love it or you hate it. And to all those people out there that say, fuck pineapple on pizza, it doesn't belong on pizza, it's an abomination. I hear you. I understand you. End of sentence. You are correct.
Wow.
Yeah, you're definitely
I don't like pineapple on my pizza. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I love pineapple. I love a Hawaiian pizza. It's fantastic.
You like everything. You eat everything.
But
you are a human garbage can. You will eat anything.
I'm with Chris on this, and I'll take it a step further. On pizza might be my favorite place for pineapple.
Ooh.
Wow, pina colada.
Well, okay, now you're getting into a different garnish. I mean,
pineapple upside down.
Can't argue. No, yeah.
When was the last time you had one of those?
Only in my dreams.
Easter?
Exactly. See, I don't know. I don't come across that. Maybe I would like that more, but from a practical standpoint, I don't ever desire to just eat pineapple. But pineapple on pizza.
So is
yes,
are
pineapple
saying,
is fantastic.
It is.
Pizza's a different story, but yeah, alone, I'd say it's one of the best tasting fruits for sure. I'd put it right behind mangoes.
Are you saying that
I'd go mangoes and then pineapple?
That mangoes
pizza,
tastiest fruits.
Pizza is PP.
The building.
Yeah, what is peak pineapple? PP.
Pizza.
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 Some people would say the Dole Whip. I mean, that was a big deal. Dole Whip.
That's some good pee right there.
I want no part of this.
Come on. But that was like a thing. Like they only served it in two places, Disneyland or Hawaii, for like forever. And then
now grocery stores.
Yeah.
Now it's like public domain now. After a certain number of years, they're like, okay, we can now let anybody have it. Oh, by the way, sorry, we'll get to your flick in just a moment. I just reminded this. So I went to on St. Patrick's Day. I went to dinner with my family, and not for St. Patrick's Day, just on St. Patrick's Day. And
no, your family doesn't religiously celebrate the day.
No. But there was it was like in a center, Second and PCH, Kalen, you've been there, and it's like a shopping center. It's kind of like the Grove, but it's in Long Beach, I guess.
They got a great sandwich shop in that place, by the way. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So there are all these little kids there because they were doing a St. Patrick's Day celebration, and Mickey and Minnie were supposed to come out. So this lady's on the microphone, and she's all right, well, I just walked in, so I'm just watching what the show is. And she's like, all right, well, Mickey and Minnie are running a little behind, but they said, don't worry, they'll be here momentarily. So maybe we should all stretch. Makes all the kids stretch and then touch their toes and do all these stretches, and all the kids are doing it. It's very cute. I found out this is the second time they've stretched now because she did not have a backup plan, and now she's just running through all the stuff that they've already done.
You got to have number two. Yeah, you got to have your stall-worthy events.
Yeah, so she has to stall because
distractions.
Yeah, Dawson's done this a million times. He's worked with rock bands. They're late. It's just how it goes. So finally, Mickey and Minnie arrive. The place goes nuts, and they're doing these dances, these songs. And by the way,
how are they dancing? Is it like 21st century? documentary, like Mickey and Minnie are just fucking like pumping and grinding, or like what
Fucking
are we talking
twerking
about
and
here?
shit.
Yeah.
It was very erotic, Matt. Dude, do you need to
Hold
go
on,
do something right now? So they're
Fucking
dancing.
Mickey's just slapping
It's straight
her
up.
ass in front of the kids.
Yeah. It's
Dylan, what do you flick? What's the flicking score?
Wait.
I'm not done with pineapple pizza.
Pineapple.
We'll get to that in a sec. So yeah, Matt. So they go up there. They're doing head, shoulders, knees, and penis. The classic dance.
Head, shoulders, knees, and penis. Yeah,
And
I know that one.
and then so they're doing their dance. By the way, Dawson, this is the perfect gig, right? You're dressed up as Mickey. You're leading the place to all these songs. Obviously, you're not really singing because you're just in costume. And the audio has Mickey singing. It's like, hello.
Oh,
kids,
you're just
hello."
playing a tape.
And
That's
and
right.
they're just
You don't even have to
dancing,
sing.
and they're not even singing. They're just like doing the moves. It's like,
No, it's an
man,
awful gig.
That's a good gig. Okay.
No, it's
Well,
an awful gig. Well, actually, it's probably pretty easy as far as really having to put a ton of effort into it. All you got to do is don the suit and do the moves.
Don the suit, do the moves. Exactly. So they're doing their songs,
easy.
and then somebody tells me that Mickey is going to not be the spokesman or the spokesmouse, excuse me, of Disneyland anymore, or like the logo, because he's going to be public domain soon. So they need like to have something else. Is that true? Like, have you guys heard that?
I haven't heard that, but
No, I've not heard that either.
it's generally with music, it's life plus 100. So I guess if it's been 100 years since Walt Disney died, then yes, Walt Disney's art, I guess, would go public domain.
Yeah. So I mean, Winnie the Pooh went public domain. That's why they made that horror movie that neo-noir of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so it's the
like
same
last
rules.
year.
It's life plus 100.
Yeah. So I think So I just heard that. Yeah, they're
It
probably
might be
going to
life
start
plus
looking for
50,
something
but
new.
I think it's 100.
How did pineapple pizza trigger this Mickey Mouse
That's what I've
story
been
that
wondering,
you're
Rob.
telling?
Chris
Where
Chris
is it
started
gonna
to tell a story.
Oh, I got what? Hold on. Let's
That has
break.
something to do
I
with
need
pineapple.
To tell emergency story. That
Oh.
has to
It
do
was
with
because of
pineapple
Dole Whip.
pizza.
It was because
Thank
of
you.
Dole Whip.
It was because of Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. Okay.
What's Dole
Fucking
Whip?
It's the
We-
dance that Mickey and Minnie were doing.
Okay. All right. I'll go with that. I'm moving on.
All right. Well, Kaylin, what else do you have to say about pineapple on pizza then?
Well, I'm never gonna fucking order it, but I've certainly been at a hell of a lot of parties where the one person there that does like it orders it. They eat the 3 pieces of it, gets full. Everyone else clears out all the pepperoni and sausages, mushroom. So everyone else has to go to the pineapple to get their extra slices.
What's with
So-
all the veggie pizzas?
Mushroom and olives is a fantastic pizza. I would take a
It
veggie
is.
pizza any day over fucking Hawaiian.
Olives.
And when you are
Yeah,
that
I'd eat
person,
that.
you have to take the pineapple pizza and you have to pick off the pineapples one by one. Not only do you have to do
See,
that, but then you have to look
it's
under
fucking
the cheese because there's like a hidden one in there. It takes a lot of work to fucking eat a fucking Hawaiian pizza when you have to take off all that pineapple.
Yeah. Dude, and here's the thing, man. I worked in several pizza places over the years of my life. And you can't even put pineapple on half of the pizza because it contaminates the entire pizza.
And even once you remove all the pieces of pineapple, don't get me wrong, substantially better, but you still get that
Still there.
taste of it, so it's still not.
got the juice.
It's still got the juice.
It
So
got
like
the
You
juice.
said is the second best fruit taste behind mango.
I'll stand for that for sure. Well, that doesn't
Why
belong
would I
on
want that
pizza.
Just
another
not on
incredible
pizza.
tasting item. I don't
We
know.
are
Not on pizza.
Not on
we're
pizza.
getting
yeah.
dangerously close to Damashek territory, so I'd like to
Oh,
power
Chris,
on.
Move
look
on.
behind you.
Okay, so like Hawaiian pizza with the pineapple taken off after it's been cooked, dragged across concrete is flickable. 7.3 out of 10.
That's a pretty good score, dude.
The peeled pizza.
I'm not really sure how you feel about the pineapple on the pizza now.
Oh,
I know you'll
once it's
eat it.
taken
I
off-
get it.
once
but
it's
a
taken off-
7.4? Yeah. All right. Hey, it's fucking Hundley. Put that shit in your book.
Poor guy. He's been digitally creating spreadsheets.
We haven't heard from him lately. I wonder if
It
he's
has been a while. We do need another recap.
Look, what's going to happen with David Hundley is they're going to make a movie about him. Aaron Sorkin already optioned it. Like a guy who decided to create this AI went nuts because his source is just too inconsistent. Went crazy. And
How
it's just,
dare you?
Yeah, and now it's his life as a crazy person and what happened to him. So, David Hunley, please send us a message of some sort. Let us know you're okay, buddy. All right, you guys want to do some comments?
Sure.
Yes,
Now it's time for listener comments. All right. This first one's from Bill Richardson. He writes, listening to ACS today and have to wonder, is the sideshow just canned ham at this point, or did Chris get a day off for the baby shower he had 12 days ago?
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I had a second baby shower. The first one that we had, there's a couple things about this. First off, the first one we had was just for friends.
Minus Dawson.
The people who have to throw these baby showers, they have to host it, and it's usually somebody who wants to throw it. So Jen's best friend offered to throw this one, and her aunts offered to throw her one too. But it costs a lot of money. You have to host all these people, feed them, all this stuff. So so our friends like, let me do the friends, and the aunt will do the family, and they split.
And if somebody wants to host a baby shower for you, you kind of have to let them, right?
I think so. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
It's such a nice. It's just such a nice and generous act. Like,
What's the equivalent? What if I told you guys that in a couple weeks I'm going to get a keg?
I'm listening.
And in preparation for getting this keg, I would like to have a keg shower. Yeah.
Go on.
And we're not going to actually drink the keg. You guys are going to come over and give me presents just to celebrate the fact that in another week to 3 months, I'm going to get a keg. Now, you'll be invited to come and look at the keg. I might even let you hold the keg. The keg is mine. I'm just trying to get a baby shower, guys.
And 18 years from now, when the keg becomes a man.
That's right. Set it out on its own.
It's going to be a sad day. A beautiful yet sad day. Dawson's just single tear rolling as he watches his keg go off.
But you know what? That tin will be ready for the world. Yes, it will.
Yeah. So a few things with that. Doss, I'd be happy to throw you a keg shower.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, like a keg shower, yeah. And then
keg shower. We could call it a keg stand.
Well, that's a thing.
That is a thing.
I don't think they're interchangeable, and I would like you to not keg stand my baby when you meet it.
I think you're right.
So
right on that.
Yeah, let's just keep.
I mean, think of the logistics. Who's going to hold me up?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing, Dawson. There is one other tradition that you may not have thought of. It's not necessarily as ubiquitous as a baby shower, but there is what's called a sip and see. And that's when after the baby is here, you invite people over and they drink wine and they can see the baby.
So I can just get a keg
and do a sip and see.
Still have a sip and see.
Yeah. So you can have people come over, they can drink water, and they can see the keg.
I've never heard of a sip and see.
I like a sip and see.
You've never heard of a sip and see? You're about to.
Wow. Is that a thing? Matt, have you heard of this?
I think sip and see is like
Chris,
it's in Cambria or something.
I'm calling it right now. I will be at a sip and see for you in the next 9 months.
I was at the sip and see outside of Hearst Castle the other day.
I know your life. I know your friends.
Let's go.
I'll see you at the sip and see.
I've never been to a sip and see, so
I'm the same taco guy. That ruled.
I've never been to a sip and see.
I've never heard of this. This is madness.
Yeah,
really?
Same.
Yeah,
No,
I believe I've heard of it, but I just blocked it out. You know, so I think I heard of it before.
All right. Well,
it exists.
So I did get the day off because this one wasn't a girls only baby shower, but I guess
it was a Sunday.
Yeah, the father does have to show up for it with flowers.
Baby.
It's
so which I did. Now
Gary's laughing like he had to tell you to get flowers.
He did.
There we go.
Was that off air? I felt like that was on air.
I think that was off air. I think
it's on air now.
Off air, but that's hilarious.
Anyway, so I did go and it was a beautiful celebration. It was super fun. And
does the baby have a name yet? Are we saying what the baby's name is yet?
Not yet.
Michael.
We have some leaders.
The
in
gender,
the clubhouse.
anything?
Oh, a boy.
He said the gender when he announced it.
Well,
baby boy coming in May.
Let me take this moment to congratulate you again, good sir.
Thanks, buddy. So I have to now tell the show, like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it on Sunday because this is a last minute scheduling thing. So they understood.
Right.
He was,
Yeah.
but then I called Dawson to prep him for the show because he's kind of handling some of the production duties now, and I'm like, hey man, I'm not going to be in today, so you got to handle this, and this. And Dawson's like, why are you not going to be there? I'm like, oh, just got something going on. Don't worry about it, because I didn't want to tell him, it's a baby shower. And then I think I called him back, right? Just like, oh, actually, Dawson, it's a baby shower. I don't want you to, because if Adam goes, Chris is at a baby shower, I don't want Dawson to chime in and go, his baby shower was last week. What are you talking about? Because then,
What the fuck,
yeah,
dude?
yeah. So I foresaw all that.
Yeah,
all of that, and I thought
did a
I had to get
preemptive
ahead.
strike on that one.
I had to get ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yeah, but this is how it went. Dawson, actually, it's another baby shower. Dawson responds, oh, am I not invited to that one too? Just cut me at the knees right away. Yeah. Anyway, so Bill, that's where I was. I was at my second baby shower, and I'd go to a third if I could. They're quite nice. All right, Mike J. Nielsen writes, has anyone found Gina and Brian's podcast yet? It's still not showing up in my app.
Check again.
Yeah, it's there now. I've been seeing it. Has a cool new logo. Has a sweet-ass intro from Gary Smith. And
not for long.
Oh, you're changing it.
Next episode that's being changed out.
Oh, okay. Well, we gotta play the intro on this show because there's some things I want to talk to you about, some performance things. So we'll get into that next.
We absolutely will not. I'll end this fucking stream right now.
All right. Well, anyway,
That was Watercooler.
Nah. Well, congrats on the show. It's been climbing the charts. It's been doing really well. So
Yeah, thanks.
and it's for sure the Brian and Gina podcast.
The Brian and Gina show.
The Brian and Gina show. Yeah. So we were trying to figure out what order they were doing it, but it's confirmed now. Brian and Gina show, and it's slick looking. So everybody go subscribe to that. Let's see. Jake Zerby says, Chris, thank you for pointing out that Your Honor is in fact a bad show. I've been foolishly watching with my wife, thinking it was a high quality drama. Yeah, but he watched it for Bryan Cranston as well. Yeah, it was a bad show. I finished it. I'm fine with it. I'm happy with it.
I wouldn't say it was bad. It was aight.
Dude,
I enjoyed it.
Did you watch? So you watched the second season?
I didn't watch the second season. I'm planning on it.
Watch the second season.
I don't know.
Let me know when you watch season 2, episode 1.
Okay.
And I want to see if you continue going on with that because there is just something so crazy. Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna tell you. All right.
No,
so,
tell me. Don't tell me.
Oh my god.
It's
not a plot point. It's not a plot point. It's
me.
like in the first 10 minutes.
Whatever.
So Bryan Cranston's in prison. Okay, maybe that is a plot point. Either way. So, I just realized. Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of a new season, of course it's a plot point. Or else what are we doing?
Okay, well, whatever. So he's in prison.
None of you were hoping to ever
At this point,
start on
you
the
may as
first
well-
season.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
keep going, Chris. At this point.
He's lethargic in prison, and there is a scene that almost feels like a dream sequence where he and 3 other prisoners are sitting in the middle of a bull ring, like where they do rodeos, and they're playing cards with each other, and they're wearing
Jackass
helmets.
style?
Yeah, and they're just playing cards, and a bull is just running and just knocking them all around while they're just sitting there trying to play cards calmly in front of an audience, and it's like. Oh, because he's having, and you're thinking, oh, this is a dream sequence because he's having some internal struggles and he's trying to stay calm while all the chaotic world around him is coming after him.
And then you find out it's actually real.
It's a real scene. They actually did that, and that actually happens to him. And then they go off, and then he leaves the rodeo, and it's never mentioned again. It's not it's just done.
So was he out of jail? So it was a flashback.
No, it starts with him in jail, and that scene happens to him while he's in jail.
You're right.
While
The
he's in
show
prison.
sucks.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to watch it.
Yeah. Maybe I
All
did.
right,
Yeah.
I'll get back to you on that.
All right. Carrie Leanne Young says, Dawson, so sorry to hear about your accident. I'm glad you're okay. I totally understand you for
Thanking
being
thee.
pissed. Insurance companies suck. A car made
I'm
a left
still
turn in front of
pissed.
me. I had the green light, totaled my car. Luckily, I wasn't hurt. Yeah, luckily, we're happy about that, Carrie. The driver was ticketed for failure to yield right of way. Their insurance was only going to cover half. Tried to say it was half. I was half at fault. My insurance said I'll be on my deductible. So yeah, it was a hassle for her. So Doss, what's a car update? What's your truck update? Because I mean, last time we talked to you, you got in that accident.
Truck date.
Well, I'm still driving this rental that I feel like I'm taking my life into my hands every time I get into this fucking car. I'm so afraid of this car. I'm so fucking afraid of this car. And I'm looking for, I'm just going to get something that's going to get me through the next 3-4 years.
Oh, did they total
it? They totaled it. It's
sorry, bro.
I went and met with the I guess you don't know. It was last Friday. I went and met with the adjuster and the guy who owned the body shop of where it was. Adjuster turns it on and oil just starts fucking leaking everywhere. They look at it, dude. The damage this bitch did to my truck is ridiculous. Drivetrain, respect all women, but not her. She was a royal fucking bitch. And I'm, these are the people who are screaming, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." I'm like, dude, you just fucked up my truck. Anyway, drivetrain disconnected, fucking rear axle bent, truck frame bent.
There you go. That's
fucking so.
One of those
bye-bye.
things could have totaled it.
Yeah. Insurance gave me a good sum of money. Not enough money to replace my truck, like I'd ever find it again. Just because of the cost of cars right now. But I'm gonna try to find I'm probably just get a fucking Tacoma with 100,000 miles on it from 2007. And just fucking drive that for a couple of years, and then bank some money from the insurance settlement. And, that was my dream truck. I'm not looking for a fucking dream truck right now. I just don't want to die in a Nissan Kicks.
It's not your forever truck.
Next month.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking, but our boy Toyota Dave gave me a list of all the dealerships that he has contact with. And so pretty much I'm just going to look at these dealerships, find a nice used car, and then Dave will call them, and they'll give me the best deal. And we're fortunate to know Dave.
All right. Well, hopefully, yeah, you can be driving that Toyota instead of that Nissan Kicks.
Sorry about that, Doss.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm still super pissed about it. Although I'll tell you, my insurance guy adjuster called me today, and he said, "Hey, I had to talk to the lady that hit your car." And that's the way he said it. I had to talk to the lady that hit your car today. Turns out she doesn't have insurance on her car. She only has collision. I fortunately covered my fucking truck because that was my goddamn truck. But so he's like, so there's no way that we've denied her claim to come after you. I'm like, and I said the Tokyo Drift thing, by the way, Chris. I actually said that on stage at an open mic last week. I said I'm a good driver. I'm not that good. But anyway, yeah, I'm making a long story longer, and I'm just gonna try to bank some change and get a truck. Yeah. I'd like to get like a 98 4Runner. You know what I mean? Find me a 1998 Toyota 4Runner with like 150,000 miles. I'll give you $7,000 for it.
You want the Eddie Bauer edition?
Those were Explorers.
I don't care. Yeah, there you go.
That was Explorers and Expeditions. But good pull. I like that.
Nice.
The Eddie Bauer editions were hot in the late 90s.
They're so funny. All right. Well, glad to hear. All right, Doss. Matt, do you have a Shay?
Yeah, sure.
We all. Oh wait.
What kind of food will we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, "Hey, Matt.
What's on the menu?"
Yeah, good job, guys. Well done. So there is a legendary Mexican restaurant in Austin, Texas called Matt's El Rancho, and
I don't like it already.
Is it as good as Paquito Moss?
It starts out with Matt.
Wow, Kalen.
Come on, we can't go with like Mateo. Like, something.
If anybody's going to earn a Michelin star,
How do you feel?
How
do you feel, Fondelier? Just the first two comments out of the gate are just fucking burning this legendary Austin eatery.
I can never let him leave that.
You know what, though? I'm going to tell you guys. I'm with you guys. Screw this place. I do not like this place. I do not like the way that I was
This
treated.
never happens. Oh, how are you mistreated?
Well, let me tell you guys.
Wouldn't let you film?
They would not let me film the goddamn desserts.
They made you order the whole meal at once?
No, here's the deal.
How is Matt still getting burned right now? Leave him alone.
I'm all for it. It's all good. It's all with love. I hope. So here's the deal. This place it's a little bit far from where I live, but it's pretty close to where we've been taking our puppy for like training class and like puppy playtime kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what? I know exactly how long this class is going to last. We're going to drive right past this place. Let's do a takeout order. And then when we get home, we can enjoy some. So I go to their website and I see what I want, what my wife wants on the menu. And my wife, you can only place the takeout orders online. They will not accept a takeout order in the restaurant. And I'm like, all right, no problem. So I open, and you know what? This is just as much Toast Tab's fault. I don't know if you guys have ever used Toast Tab before.
Wasn't that one of the gamers that Kalen would play Call of Duty with?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Not a bad gamer tag.
my wife wants a combo that's got like an enchilada and a taco, but through the Toast Tab app, you cannot select what kind of taco you want. You can do the enchilada, but not the taco. And if we get a beef taco,
it's an
what
error.
are we doing here?
It's an error in the upload. Yeah.
So I just tell him, like, well, look, you're going to have to figure out something else you want to order because this is just not worth the risk. It's,
it's too risky.
risky.
Matt, okay, so what'd you do?
Let me continue. Now, I would like something very simple. Chicken quesadilla. I see it on the menu. Chicken fajita quesadilla. Perfect. It's one of those things that travels. It's fine. I don't really care. Not on the app at all. Can't even order it. So I call up the restaurant and I go, hi, guys. I'd like to place a takeout order. And they go, you guys have to use the app. And I said, well, I tried to use your app, but it doesn't work properly. The thing I'd like to order, the thing my wife would like to order, we can't order it. So I'd like to place it through you. Sorry, sir. We can't do that. You can't give me a quesadilla?
You're not capable of, what?
We're like, nope. I said, all right, I guess I'm going to have dinner somewhere else. Then, all right, bye. Now, here's the worst part, guys.
They were like, fuck you, dude. We're legendary. I don't care.
Still ordered fucking food from this place. We both changed our options, our entree options. And you know what? It was fine. But mostly it tasted like hypocrisy. And I hated myself for it. I hate you, Matzo Rancho and Toast Tab, for what you've made me do, what you've made me become. So that's what's on the fucking menu.
Oh, I'm sorry,
well done.
dude.
That sucks, though.
Okay, so there are a couple things. First off, was there no special instruction box? Because usually if they forget to list a qualified,
the special instructions never works. And I will say that I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if a restaurant is pretentious enough to the point that the only way they will let you make takeout orders is through their app, then that special instructions box is either disabled or not being adhered to. And that's so risky to just hope that whoever's on the other end of it is going to look at the special instructions and follow your shit.
I would be fine, though, if that option was available. Like, I can you put special instructions and maybe you say we can't adhere to all special instructions, because I get it. Some people are maybe a little bit over the top, and maybe some of the simple stuff just falls through the cracks. But to not even make it an option, just to not even be able to say, chicken taco or whatever it's going to be, when it's like, it's just insane. So it was a really frustrating experience.
Yeah, so here's the thing. But if there's no option, if I was a chef there, I would go, okay, they ordered a taco. What kind? Oh, it's not labeled there. It actually never is. Oh, well, then is there special instructions? And then it says chicken, beef, pork, whatever.
But no, they don't have that option. So instead they would just take the risk. It was just too risky, Chris.
Yeah, so, okay, it's too risky, as you said. Now, look, you've done enough of these shows. You've done enough Chef Fondelays.
Ouch.
You now
Some
have
would say too many.
you have
Enough. Is this the end of it?
you've done
No
enough.
way. No way.
I'm not saying your watch has ended, but you've definitely made an impact on the food community.
Sure.
To the point where you are now awarding restaurants with such a prestigious award that no restaurant has ever earned one yet.
Given out yet. That's right.
The "Do you know who I am?" might work, and I suggest you try that next time.
Sure, next time. Maybe
if
I
they're
will.
not playing ball with you, just say,
Yeah.
"Do you know who I am?" This is Matt
who I am?
Fondelier.
You gotta
Jay
bring in one of
Fondelier.
those Michelin stars. Go.
Yeah.
Would you like one of these hanging on your wall? Huh?
How do you like
No,
pen
sir.
apples?
No, sir.
Yeah.
Please leave our establishment.
So,
No
sorry to hear
chicken
about that,
quesadilla.
man.
That wasn't even on the menu. And when I said, well, the chicken quesadilla, it's on your menu, but it's not on the online menu, she said, she had the gall to say, we have a kid's quesadilla. Put some fucking chicken in it.
Oh, they might get a Michelin star now. What a response! My God. All right. Well, anyway, sorry to hear about that, man. I know your next meal will be better, and I can't wait for you to give out that star. All right. Well, that will do it for Watercooler. Thanks again to everybody for hanging out with us again on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. Now, why don't we go around the horn and get our plugs in, and then we'll GTFO. I'll start over there with Orange County. Gary Smith, what do you got?
Go follow the Reasonable Doubt YouTube channel, youtube.com/Reasonable Doubt Podcast. We just had Harmeet Dillon, who's a returning guest, who listeners of this show may be familiar with. Listeners of Reasonable Doubt certainly are. And she and Mark talked about, the impending indictment that everyone is talking about. So go check that out, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. She's big time now. She's doing all the shows. So.
She's awesome.
Yeah. Dawson, sup with you?
Yeah, man. I'm going to go visit Kinky Friedman, the Kingsta, this weekend. So get your free trial of Audible at audible.com and get a free book. Get a Kinky Friedman novel. I've done 2 of them. They're up there right now. Kinky Friedman, spelled just like it sounds.
Yeah.
And may the good Lord take a liking to you.
And we played some excerpts of the audiobook, and it's stellar. The guy can tell a story. I mean, he certainly has enough of them. All right. Matt, how about you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondelier. Please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. We're keeping it going for you folks.
Yeah.
And I also have episodes of Sword and Scale Nightmares available. Check out that show. Got another one coming out. I think it's going to be like April 6th or something like that. It is, without a doubt, the most fucked up story I've ever worked on ever in the entire time I've been doing this. So I'm very excited for that one to come out. Makes Bone Tomahawk look like a
Mickey Mouse.
Bambi.
Dragged across
Mickey Mouse.
concrete.
There you go.
Oh, man. Yeah. I can't wait to wiki that. And Kaylin, how about you?
Check out another Below Deck podcast and Bad TV if you like reality TV. Very fun recaps of reality shows.
All right. You're on that show? You're working on it?
Yeah.
So if you want more Kaylin.
Where do you think he's recording from right now?
I know.
What do you think I'm doing right after
encourage, I don't want to think Kaylin just throwing out a random podcast.
Remember when he said he had a hard out? He meant I got to go do another show that I work on.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And as for me, just check out all those shows. Support the guys on this podcast because we love doing it and we love hearing from you. Look, we may not all work directly with each other, but we love talking to each other. We love catching up. We love seeing each other and hanging every week. So let's keep it going, and we will see you later this week for Patreon. We love you and goodbye.